So this is just part 3 of export and import the hardware hash straight into our tenant. So this time we're just going to use a SCCM task sequence just to show you how to do it which is pretty straightforward. So I'm not going to re-image a machine. I'm just going to simply just create an empty task sequence, which I've done here. I'm just going to go new. So I'm just going to pretty much add a new PowerShell script. So in here I'll just go export and import hardware hash just to give a definition. I'm going to enter PowerShell. I'm just going to select a PowerShell script here. So it's not an actual package. We can use a PowerShell script right here. Add script. What I'm going to do is just browse. So browse. Since I've actually done part 2, which was simply using this PowerShell script right here, just click OK. They'll actually import this in. Click OK. And as we're going to use a PowerShell script, it's going to have some parameters. And what you really want to see is so what I'm going to put here is the client ID. So I'm just going to copy this, and what I'm going to show you is to actually get the client ID is actually from the PowerShell script. It's from here. So let's just use that. And just to give you understanding, what you really need to do here is your client ID is simply going to be this, and just be that. Your client secret, which is this one. Oops. And your tenant ID is this one. And then you have to make sure that it's bypass or signed. Just to give you a brief understanding on where I've actually grabbed all this information, it's actually through this tenant. So if I went to navigate to portal.azure, same thing, portal.azure.com, and it's actually off app registration, which I have in our Azure Active Directory. So if I click on that, and if I click on app registrations right here, and I click all applications, own applications, and Navitas into Graph API. So this API is actually used for quite a lot of things. So our client ID, which is D5, which sits up there. So application client ID is actually this. Our client secret is actually the secret key right here. So certificates and secrets. So since I've actually created a brand new one for something else, it will use the latest one. It won't actually use the old one anymore. And last but not least, which is our tenant. So our tenant ID is based on that. So where you get the information is actually through here. And at the top right here, you see the tenant ID BFE 46 something. So that's all there. You click OK. So that's all good. So now so I've actually updated the assets and compliance. I've actually added a brand new device that's actually not part of our tenant yet. So if I just want to clarify that it's actually not there, I'm just going to punch this in, and you'll see that it's nothing. It's not even showing up, right? So what I'm going to do is simply just deploy this task sequence, and I'm going to go straight into here, put this here, click next. I can make it required, why not? I'm just going to force it. So ideally, the end user won't see it, and what I'll do is just untick this option. So if I tick this option, they'll see what's going to happen. It's not going to restart. This is purely for demonstration purposes, not for production. So if I click OK, and if I jump back onto that machine, which I will, and I'll just go here. So I just go remote desktop. And if I go to navitas.local, and I'll just jump in here. Just to give you a brief. So click OK on that. And obviously we can keep track of the SCCM task sequence if we want to. So I'm just going to show you briefly on how to do it really. So if I run through here, go to software and so since I'm on this machine, I go to control panel. And if you really want to trigger faster, control panel, just change the view by to large icons, go to configuration manager, and you can tell that it's not actually in the code manager at all. So let's go to actions, go run machine policy first, run now, select software updates deployment, run now, and select application deployment, run now. So click OK, and you can see that it's doing something right there. They might get notifications on what's actually been deployed, which is okay, I don't mind. That's the whole point of it. So you can tell that it's installing right now. It's actually doing it, so it's installing. Obviously it's silent. But from my end, I'll probably deploy it silently so no one actually sees it. But this is just for demonstration purposes, so just to see that you can actually grab the actual information from here. What I'll do next is actually jump into endpoint, just to give you a demonstration since we're back here again. And I'll just log in, just to show and tell. So let's just click on this and click approve. You can tell it's completed, so that's completed now. So obviously let's just grab the serial number. So I'm just going to type in MS info here. So you can tell that this one's actually 1DG. So if I go back here and go to devices, enroll devices, and punch in the serial number here, 1GD2W23, it's going to show up as that. So give it some time. It will actually assign this profile again like the other ones I've done. So part 1, part 2, and part 3 is exactly the same. So you can tell it's right there. And since we know it's all done, I'll just log off. And if we go back here, and we actually check the status of that deployment, which was this one. So if I go here, go monitoring, go to deployments, and just paste what I'm searching for. And if I right click and run summarization, click OK, and now click view now, view status, sorry. Let's run again. So we can tell it's done anyways, so which is quite good, which is what you want to see. So obviously that's all done. And if I go back here again, so you can see that this was before, this was when it was on the console. Click refresh, it's assigned. It will eventually assign to the profile. It just does take a while, so like any other process you've done. But other than that, it should be all good. So we go back monitoring. So, man, that's pretty much it. Thank you for your time.